With regards to, next question, with regards to the bids that have been put in so far, you obviously can't name the people, you can't name the individuals as such, but could you actually clarify as to maybe whether they are individuals, dictators, as you were mentioning earlier on, which by the way I'm in favour of, or are they consortiums? Could you answer that question without giving the names of the people away?
There's no consortiums that we're aware of. Inevitably, whoever buys this, whilst some of them are individuals who are talking to us, they will buy through a limited company, I'm quite sure.
Okay, thank you. The last one is merely a suggestion. You've already mentioned to warm applause from a number of people, and you got the grey vote by the looks of it. With regards to reductions for obviously OAPs, are you looking to do anything with regards to trying to encourage either people who are unfortunately unemployed at the moment and also students, because I believe at the moment there's no current offers for those people?
We haven't thought about that. We don't want to adjust what's gone on before too much, because really any additional concessions would be up to whoever buys the club. One of the reasons why we've gone down this road of announcing season ticket sales now is because we think it'll actually encourage any buyer. If lots of season tickets have been sold, the buyer's going to think this is a great place to be, because that money is going to go in an account that's going to be available to the buyer, not for the purposes of acquiring the club, but to cover part of the costs of running it going forward. I don't think we can give any additional concessions. Children under 9 already can come in free. We've got no intention of changing that because we want to capture them for life. Gerald and I have discussed the possibility of family tickets, but I think we've concluded it's really for the purchaser to make any additional alterations.
With regards to...
Just to add on, one of the things we looked at is if we make other concessions, then the general price increase would be more than 5%. It's like the budget, it has to be balanced somewhere. So we wanted to keep it simple, straight 5%, same concessions as previously, and leave it at that.
Okay, with regards to the season tickets then, last season we were given numerous rumours and speculation from the previous board stating that season tickets were nigh on what they were the year before, when in reality we knew that that wasn't the case. Would it be possible to maybe for you to give a target figure of where the season tickets, a target of where you would like to see the season ticket figure being? Would that be advisable?
I think given the uncertainties that we've got with the administration, we'd be delighted to start with if we got the same number as last season, the same sort of sales as this season in terms of sales.
Do you know what that figure was?
Well, we can find out fairly easily. I think what we'll find is if we can get those early sales away, it will encourage a buyer, and then I think the buyer will want to make sure that he's making friends with the fans, and I would like to think that you'll end up selling more season tickets once the new buyer's in place as well. I do understand people want to times are hard, people want tickets to be cheaper. We just can't do that. You've seen that the Vale has struggled to make ends meet as it is. It has to be run as a viable entity. As I think some of you know, I was brought up in Coventry, and for my sins I was 20 years a Coventry City season ticket holder. Their tickets are far more expensive, and at the moment their team's not as good as yours.
It's a question about match day prices actually. You talked about season tickets, and obviously season tickets are really important to get the club through the close season, etc., etc. Sorry, that better? It's about match day prices. Season tickets, everybody's been talking about season tickets and the like. But match day prices, I just wonder what the commercial thinking. You said there's no point in giving away a season ticket, which I understand that. Put it by 5%. No point in having 6,000 season tickets sold if you're not making money out of it. But you put the match day prices up, or you're proposing to £22.50. And we're living in like this, deprivation area. This is basically one of the 10 worst deprived areas in the UK. And I don't know where £22.50 puts us, but I wouldn't think there's any Division 2 teams, probably not many Division 1 teams or Championship teams that are charging £22.50 to get in on match day.
Can I just clarify, just in case we've got this wrong? I thought that was an increase of £1 from last season. Is it more?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I think that one of the
we're trying to keep that. That's just under 5%.
Yes, I understand that, but I think that one of the criticisms has been, why aren't 7,000 or 8,000 people coming back down to the Vale now? Now they're back in good hands and all the rest of it. And actually, it's really because people can't afford £21.50 to get into the ground. There's a lot of people here. The season ticket, I'm daft enough to buy a season ticket, whatever you charge for it. But a lot of people won't do that, and they'll pick and choose the games that they come to. But at £22.50, they'll go and watch Stoke.
I think what we're trying to encourage is more people to get season tickets, and maybe two or three people between them buy one season ticket and split the matches, and that way it's nothing like £22.50 a match.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I can't understand your commercial attitude.
Our commercial attitude is we need more income than we have.
But what Bob said was, you want to sell the same amount of season tickets at least that you sold last year.
That's our starting.
Yeah, I know. And if you do that, let's say you sell 3,500 season tickets at 5% increase. That means basically you're going to get a minimum of 3,500 people in the ground, and they've already paid. And my point really, which I'll stand by, how many more people are you going to get into the ground if the Vale are doing well at £22.50? And these people do it regularly, so I'd ask them. And my view is, I think you'll struggle to get 5,000 plus at that kind of rate. It's just a commercial view.
I totally understand what you say, but we have to demonstrate to anyone who wants to buy this club that it's going to be commercially viable. And I don't think you can justify putting up the season ticket prices and not putting up the match day prices by a similar sort of percentage. You're actually giving people a disincentive to buy season tickets if you do that. And the other point is, I'm not convinced a lot of people will go and watch Stoke City instead.
Not wanting to kind of have a stand-up argument with you guys, because I think you did a fantastic job, by the way. But I disagree. I think that what you need to get back into the Vale now is the floating voter. And they've got a Premiership club that they can go and watch for probably less than £22.50. So why, it's not far off.
Well, I don't want to get hung up on this. By the start of the new year, there will be a new owner, we expect. If they feel that we've got it wrong, no doubt they can correct that.
Can I also add, having gone around the country in football, I can't believe this is the only town where Port Vale and Stoke are arch enemies, as I understand it, that they'd actually go and watch the arch enemy team because they don't want to pay the ball. I can't believe that. I just don't believe that happens. It's not how much you pay, it's who you support.
There's some Vale fans who work at weekends or who live out of the area, such as students, so they can't go out and buy a season ticket because they can't pay the money up front for 22 games or whatever it is. But if the price is going to be £21.50 per match, they are going to come to the odd match when they're back in the area.
If you could pay it in instalments, would you buy a season ticket?
Yes.
No, I probably wouldn't, because I wouldn't know which games I could go to. I'm
But
actually be able to go to
don't you
two
have
games.
enough friends that you could share season ticket with?
But they're not transferable, the tickets say that on them.
Well, all I can say is we've fixed the price until a new owner comes in. If a new owner wants to play around with the match day prices, that'll be his choice at the time. Can we see if there's any other questions in other areas?
We're in the 4th division now. I went to Burton, it was £14. I went to Mansfield, it was £14. We asking to pay nearly double the price to get in. People won't pay.
Well, look, can we move on from prices? We hear your message loud and clear. We'll pass that on to whoever buys the club. But let's bear in mind, we're not talking about £14. It was £21.50 when we came in. So we were just trying to demonstrate to you, the supporters, and to a buyer that there is a future, and part of that is demonstrating that you guys want to buy season tickets. I'm happy that we take some more questions, but I am conscious that the noise level is rising and people are probably itching for a drink. In the room, apart from Gerald and myself, our joint administrators, Steve is at the back of the room, along with James, along with Arthur Bailey, who are all part of the Begbies team. If you'd like to sort of catch us afterwards, we'll do our best as well to have smaller discussions. But before we do that, are there any final questions? Okay, just one at the back, and then we'll move on.
It's not so much a question, but I don't know what everybody else feels, but really as administrators, you've got no duty whatsoever to face the fans. So I, for one, appreciate the fact that you've sought this forum to actually give the fans some information. And off the back of the complete media blackout we had from the old board, I think it's something we should all appreciate. So thank you.
What we'll try and do, we're very conscious of the criticism of the previous board through lack of communication, lack of openness. We will try to have another forum like this at the end of the season when we know who the buyer is, we can answer any further questions that you've got, and hopefully invite the buyer to be on the top table with us and encourage them to continue with the spirit of openness. But can I thank you for your kind remarks? Thank you very much for your support. Will you please keep putting the money in the buckets? That's really helpful to us. Buy the t-shirts. I hope you like my model here, who's modelling the shirt this evening. Don't let that put you off. There are other sizes. But thank you very, very much for your kind remarks. We really are, we're not going to do everything you like, but we'll try very hard to find you a buyer that you are comfortable with, and will, I live on the patch, as Gerald says, and I'm not ready to emigrate yet.